welcome to Retrologic. I'm Dan Caparello, and you're about to listen to our live show. We recorded live on Twitch this week. It was super fun. We had some chat interaction, we did some giveaways, and the audio is going to be just a tiny bit off from normal, but I really appreciate you guys listening. We had some really funny E3 predictions. Just a great episode all around. So I appreciate you listening, and have a great show. Wow. So John, how are you doing besides the fact that your internet is not working, which is weird because you're definitely streaming? What's going on?
Oh, I'm doing great. I just got back from driving for about 3 hours from where I was.
Ooh.
I took my family to a small weekend vacation to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and made our way back today just in time to record this show live.
Well, thank God for that, because we'd have to cancel.
Yeah. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, Sam, show number 3. We already threw you in with a live camera on Twitch. I mean, you stream anyway, so this is no sweat off your back. How are you?
I'm doing good. The heat wave broke today, so I feel happy about that.
That's something that I'm yet to experience in Texas, outside of like October. Heat waves breaking and all that just doesn't happen. Does not happen. Well, we've got a packed show for you guys today, but before we get into that, I want to say that Retrologic isn't just a podcast. We're also a retro game store. You can visit retrologic.games to check out our growing inventory of cleaned, tested, and 100% authentic retro games and merch, which Sam and I are rocking the Retrologic t-shirts. I've washed mine probably 6 times now, and it is still nice and bright. I'm so happy about the shirts. The fabric is fair trade cotton, and it just feels good to wear. It's a nice tri-blend. Some other pieces of merch that we have these Super Nintendo style pins. Those are pretty cool. We've got these holographic stickers. I have one of these on my car. I've had one of these on my car for like a good like month or 2, and it still is nice and bright. So those are high quality. And we just got these bad boys in. These are some nice flexibly Sega Genesis style magnets, fridge magnets. So go to retrologic.games and check that out, and check out the totally renovated game store. It's all new. We're off eBay, and we're on our own site now, and it just feels so good to get off of eBay. I've never been more happy about quitting something in my entire life, except for soccer. Didn't like soccer when I was a kid. So, guys, what have we been playing? What have we been buying? John, why don't you go first this time? Sam went first last time, and you have the longest list, so we're going to get you out of the way.
I mean, I go first every time? No.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
No, while I was in Tulsa, I hit up 4 local shops, I believe, to them. 3 of them were like a chain local shop that I have in my hometown as well. But just going to some different ones and checking things out. One of the shops is called Thrill House Games, and they're locally owned there. And they did something kind of cool that I wish my local game shop would do, and they individually like cellophane wrap their cartridges and put a sticker on the wrap.
Ooh.
Instead of on the cartridge itself.
That is very smart.
Which is, it was super nice. Like, kind of going through, I mean, everything from their Atari 2600 games, like everything was individually wrapped and ticketed on the wrap instead of on the game. So,
because when you don't do that, you get a label that looks like this.
Horrible.
Yes. Very much.
Even when you get the ones that kind of like peel off a little bit on the plastic, it's just a pain, you know. And really, and also on plastic like jewel cases, sometimes those are just never coming off, and you can't use
Goo-Gone
as a jewel case.
Yeah, on a jewel case you can't. You'll just make it all muddy looking. But yeah, no, the shop was really nice. it was, like I said, everything was very clean and individually wrapped and taken care of. And so I was like, I need to find something in here that I want. So I'd been kind of shopping around a copy of Double Dragon 2 for the NES, and I finally found one there at a pretty decent price. I think I paid like $12. So yeah, I picked that one up.
Neato.
Yes. The next game is Fishing Master for the Wii, which is kind of funny because in Discord we were talking about, I bought I think it's called like World Championship Fishing Master, which was, I believe, the sequel to this game. And how we were talking about, we didn't think it had a sequel, and I ran into the original game. So this is the actual game series, yeah. So I went ahead and picked it up. It was really cheap. And I grabbed Sonic Rush for the DS. I actually haven't played this Sonic game. And I think it was a really early DS game whenever I was looking into it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 04, which would have been like the first year for the DS. Anyway, so yeah, it's one of those I haven't played, so I figured I'd grab it. It's pretty cheap as well. I got Tetris DX for the Game Boy Color. This is a complete in box copy. It was sitting in a case at one of the game stores I went to, and they had like $8 on it, so I couldn't pass it up. I have Tetris like everywhere else, but it's one of those, can't have enough Tetris. You can get it everywhere. I picked up a copy of Metroid Zero Mission, which I accidentally picked up, I guess, because I already have it, but it was another really good deal, so I couldn't pass up. I was thinking that I didn't have Zero Mission, but it was actually Fusion. I have a not for resale copy of Fusion, and I was trying to pick up a regular copy that, because I'm not 100% sure that my copy of Fusion has the whole game on it. Because I don't think the copy that I have now is not the one I originally had whenever I was a kid. It's one I picked up later. So I'm not sure if it's a full, because some of the not for resales are just like demos. They're made for demoing out the system or the game whenever they were made.
Right.
Some of them have the complete game on them. So anyway, I have an extra copy of Metroid Zero Mission now. From that same store, I picked up Vigilante 8 for the Game Boy Color and Star Wars Episode 1 Racer for the Game Boy Color, which these are both rumble carts. So they have the little compartment on them for a AAA battery that will power the rumble pack on the cart.
Oh, nice. I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, since we're doing this live, I gotta show some of this stuff off. But yeah, these have the little
nice
doors, and it's really hard to find these kind of games that still have the battery doors on them. They're usually lost.
Perfect Dark was another one I think that had a
Pokemon Pinball. There was a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But usually that door is like the first thing that gets lost when you're a kid. So usually you find them and they just have like some duct tape or clear tape over them.
I hate that.
Yep. So these were in really good condition, and I didn't have either one of them, so I went ahead and picked those up. Beautiful Joe for the DS. I just bought a copy of this a couple weeks ago, but it was
Red Hot Rumble?
Double Trouble.
Double Trouble.
The copy that I bought was in really bad shape, and it wasn't complete. It was just the cartridge only. This game store had a complete, like, it looks mint. So
nice.
It was like $10.
Yeah.
So I picked it up. I actually played a little bit of that the other day. It's different. It's somewhat similar to the GameCube game, but it's more compact for the DS, I guess. But it was pretty cool.
Spider Shan in the chat says he's really interested in how the Episode 1 Racer game plays on the Game Boy Color. Have you played it yet?
Yes. I have not played it. Like I said, I just got home. I plan on going through and playing everything I just picked up at some point this week. But as soon as I do, I'll explain how it works in the Discord and give everybody a quick review per se on the game.
We'll probably hear about it next week too in your icebreaker.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably. Picked up God of War, the Ghost of Sparta, which is the second game for the PlayStation Portable, and I don't have that one. I only had Chains of Olympus. So this is one that I've been kind of on the hunt for. And most of the time when I see it, it's way overpriced at my local store. So I've just been holding out. And then I finally found one that was relatively cheap. I also picked up a copy of 1080 Avalanche for the GameCube.
Yes.
Which is a game that I should have had a long time ago. I actually haven't played 1080 Avalanche.
It's
I
so
love
good.
the original on the N64 and just never. It was a similar story with Blue Storm. You know, I loved Wave Race on 64 and never played Blue Storm for a long time, not till recently. And very good game. They both hold up great.
I wonder if anyone in chat can vouch for this, but I think 1080 Avalanche is better than the N64 game. They just everything the N64
probably.
game
I couldn't
good.
tell you.
But I honestly, like, if you talk about Wave Race, the 64 game's better than Blue Storm.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is all subjective or whatever, but that's my the guys from the All In podcast are saying hi in the chat as well. Hi guys. Sister podcast, friend podcast. But yeah, if anybody in the chat has played 1080 Avalanche, let us know if you think what I think.
And last but not least, I picked up a copy of Ogre Battle for the Super Famicom. So I got now I have the SNES American version and the Super Famicom version. So I think the only one I have left.
The Famicom version is a lot more affordable than the
yes
version.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got the complete in-box Super Famicom version for like $20. And you can add another Benjamin onto that price to get just a loose copy of the American version. But yes, that's one I seen it and I was like, man, I bought the Japanese version of the N64 game, so now I have like the pair of both for both regions. Couldn't pass it up.
Nice. That's like your favorite series, so I don't blame you for that.
Yes.
I still want to grab Donkey Kong Country Trilogy on the Super Famicom because the Super Famicom games are just almost always like half the price of any Super Nintendo game or less.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the box art was always like 10 times better than what we got. Anyway, that's all I picked up. I say that's all, but yeah, that's the last game. And I really didn't have I had time, but I want to blame the John and Drew for taking up all my time making Metopia the Mayhem game. So I just poured a ton of time into Metopia last week. I think I made it like chapter 4 in 3 days, which is a lot of time because that game is just a major time sink.
You're not selling me on this game.
No, it's not. It's definitely it's a lot of work for very little reward so far. Like there better be like some kind of pretty good ending at this because I feel like I'm slaving away at this thing to try to knock it out. And I know that other people in Discord on the Nintendo Dad server for Dads After Dark and the Mayhem channel have also been complaining about how just mundane and repetitive the gameplay is, and it's a slog.
That game,
I do enjoy like
that game
bits and pieces of it.
It just never appealed to me. It didn't appeal to me on the 3DS. It didn't appeal to me now. Just not my cup of tea.
There's parts of it I like, and I can't explain it, but it's definitely very repetitive. Even the story beats and like each chapter at the end, like the same thing happens for all the chapters I've played so far, and I'm just like,
yeah,
they could at least change it up a little bit. That's why I called this game a junior RPG, because you could literally, it plays itself. Like you can kind of watch it.
Hambone Johnny in the chat says he fell asleep playing it twice. So if that's any indication.
If you have trouble sleeping, this is the game for you.
Yep. Totes.
I thought that was Pokemon Sleep.
Yes.
That's if you're already
sleeping.
You already have to be
Metopia sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Metopia sleep. Me sleep. Sam.
Me sleep, yes.
Sam, what did you buy? What did you play? What's going on?
Yeah, so didn't buy much this week. Although my big lot of PAL Super Nintendo games did arrive, so I got a chance to test all those, clean all those. Everything works. They are all in German, in case anybody was wondering. That is the language I'm stuck with. But
You're fluent,
only
though.
2 out of the 5 rather require PAL mode to boot. So the rest are they just run like normal.
But you're fluent
and
in
that
German,
is
no?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It slows me down, but I mean, I played through the first tower of Terra Nigma. I was getting a little like anxious to just like get into the tower because all the town stuff, I was like, it expending more mental energy to be like, okay, I got to translate in my head now. But yeah, I'm figuring it out. It's fun. Yeah, so that's some of what I've been playing. Terra Nigma is the one I spent the most time with. The rest, I just wanted to make sure they all saved. It looks like they all do, which a few of them had no save files when I booted it up, so I don't know if the seller erased them before he shipped it.
That could be just a
usually
weak
that
battery,
to me
though.
is an indication that the battery is dead.
Yeah,
but
or very
progressed
weak.
to a save point and saved, and it's still there.
It still could be, yeah, but it still could be a very weak battery.
Too.
It still could be very weak.
I'll see.
You know
I
what
haven't
mean?
made it far yet,
Yeah.
so if it's gone later, I'll know. Yeah, and the weird thing too with that lot is it wasn't in the listing, so I don't know if he just threw it in as a bonus. But I also got a Secret of Mana 2 reproduction cartridge in there.
Was that one English translated?
Cartridge? Yeah, it's the fan patch. The label even says Secret of Mana 2, which isn't the official title.
Yeah,
So,
no. I was just wondering if it
very
was patched in German.
No, this one's in English, and the cartridge is in the North American style. So, I mean, the seller is from the U.S. They just presumably came upon these, however, or moved or immigrated at some point and brought their games with them. Yeah, because it shipped from Florida. So
there you go.
That's why I got such a good deal, because this was 5 games that are all like worth more than $30 loose for $75 total.
Yeah, that's sick.
So
Yeah.
yeah, you just have to know the language they're in,
Right.
which is probably why it wasn't finding a lot of buyers. Other than that, I picked up Game Builder Garage, and I had a chance to build the first 2 games in that. So still trying to figure out what exactly the extent of what you can do in it is. It does seem robust enough. You probably could make anything you wanted to. It would just get very cumbersome if you try to exceed the sort of direction it tries to get you to go. But I'm looking forward to playing around with that more.
I have my copies ready to be picked up at Best Buy. I just haven't had the time to really invest in it anyway. But
Yeah,
I'm
I just
excited to try it
downloaded it.
out.
Mine
I figure
came
this
in the mail.
is a good game to download, since you're gonna have to keep all your games you built stored on your SD card anyway. So
Yeah.
And mine came in the mail Friday before I left, so I haven't got a chance to try it yet. But I've already been seeing some crazy stuff that people have posted online, like somebody created Super Mario Kart in it already.
Yeah, Doom.
yeah, I haven't even touched free play, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
I actually want to mess around a lot with like the tilt controls and things, because that's something I've grown more aware of, that I think Nintendo's kind of abandoned a lot of the functionality of the Joy-Con, and I think the Switch Lite is to blame.
Somebody's going to make F-Zero. Somebody's going to make Golden Sun. Somebody's going to make WarioWare.
It'll
we don't
be
have
cool
to buy
see,
Nintendo's games
see
anymore.
what people can do. But
I bet
other than
F-Zero's not
other
that
games, I've been playing more Chrono Trigger. I actually posted in the Discord. I did the thing to get the little secret you get by staying low level, which is to fight Specchio, the boss that sort of scales to your level. He teaches you magic, and you can fight him and get rewards if you beat him. And he has different forms depending on what level you're at. So if you're under level 10 when you reach him, he'll be a frog. That's sort of like hard to do-ish. Like, you have to be trying to stay under leveled to reach him and still be under level 10. So that was fun.
You guys skip almost a lot of fights.
Yeah, and that's what I did. Pretty much when I got to the future section, I ran away from as many fights as I could. I actually let Chrono die during the last boss fight before him so that he wouldn't level up.
Were you at 9?
Yeah, I was at 9, so I wasn't sure if I was going to level up or not.
We're going to talk more Chrono
Luca had
Trigger
to finish the boss off by herself.
Nice. We're going to talk more Chrono Trigger a little later, too, so save some of that.
And the last game that I got a chance to play is something that was shadow dropped to Game Pass during Xbox Bethesda's E3 presentation, which is Arx Fatalis. That's actually a game that I used for Prices Retro a couple weeks ago. An old first-person RPG by Bethesda. Very interesting. It's one that focuses a bit more on sort of almost an adventure game kind of style, where it's a little bit more creative problem solving than hack and slash. It has a very unique magic system, which is also very frustrating. You have to enter like spellcasting mode, and then you use the mouse to draw different runes. And you find different runes throughout the game. So I only have like 3 right now. But by combining these 20 or so different runes in different combinations, you create different spells. And they do all sorts of things, not just for combat. Like the very first spell you learn is Make Fire. And it just sets all campfires or torches within a certain distance around you on fire. So it lights them.
Nice.
And like you'll get another rune later that is like Remove. So then you can make Remove Fire, and that'll put out torches, and you can use that if you want to sneak past somebody. Or, you know, I just got another one that's like Space rune. So I can have like a Make Fire Space, and that is a actual spell with some offensive utility where it just sets a big square in front of you on fire and burns things.
Crazy.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's worth checking out. It's on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, I think that's something people don't think about, but I think Game Pass is actually not a bad vehicle for exploring some retro games. There's not a ton on there, but I mean, especially since they bought Bethesda, that was kind of the big thing too. All the Fallout games are on Game Pass now. So I can see Microsoft doing more of that, because that's probably a lot cheaper for them to acquire those. Since it is a temporary license for an old game, they probably don't have to pay a lot. And I mean, they bought Bethesda, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of that. More older, especially on the PC front, more older PC games just coming to Game Pass.
So is that game on both Game Pass for PC and console?
Good question. I know it was ported to Xbox originally, so I would expect so, but I don't have an Xbox, so I didn't check for myself.
Yeah, when you're talking about drawing runes and stuff, I'm just thinking, man, on a controller, this is probably not as good.
So they did simplify it. There is a simplified controls for Xbox where you basically use the D-pad, because most of the runes are rigid geometric shapes. So it'll be like a horizontal line, or like a U shape, or like a sort of a G shape.
Nice.
But the thing I have noticed is the game's very picky about not registering it. It's not very charitable. Like, you have to be really precise, and I found more success with a couple things, which is one is to make sure you lock your position so that the camera doesn't move while you're moving the mouse around to do it, and also to just try to draw them smaller. But like I almost gave up right away, because the first time I tried it, I was like 60 times trying to just draw this like U shape, and it wasn't registering, and I'm like, well, this is dumb. Sometimes
Definitely not like the Wii, huh?
Was it better or worse than Wonderful 101?
I didn't have too many problems with Wonderful 101.
Oh, okay.
To be honest,
that's good.
At least not with the basic forms. Like the fist was a circle, the sword was a line. I could do those pretty easily. Some of the other forms sometimes, but I don't remember being too frustrated with that game. It's been a while though.
By the time it made it to the Switch and they simplified it with like normal control scheme, it felt pretty natural.
Awesome. So I didn't get a whole lot going ons this week. I picked up a copy of Metroid Fusion, pretty cheap, like half the value, from just like a random used stuff website. And I got it in, and I mean, there's always a risk when you buy online from like random websites, because is it authentic? Is it even the right game? Whatever, but it's fine. So that was lucky. So I also got a Metroid game, handheld Metroid game there, John. Haven't popped it in yet to like actually play it. I just tested it. And then really it was just Chrono Trigger all week. Anytime I had, which wasn't a whole lot. But yeah, I plan on trying to pick up Game Builder Garage this week, and then trying to learn how to code. So that'll be fun. That's it for me. Mine have been pretty short lately because there's not a whole lot going on besides just working on the store and stuff. So let's go ahead and jump into some Prices Retro. What do y'all think?
Sounds good to me.
All right, so if this is your first time playing Prices Retro, I'm going to tell you all how this goes. I'm going to list off 4 games, and you have to guess how much the whole lot of games is worth in total. And then everybody guesses, and everybody gives their lists, and then whoever's the closest to guessing the actual price of the list, they win. They get all the prizes. And I think we're going to actually give away some stuff for this one, since we actually have a chat going on. If you want to win
Play along, chat.
Yeah, if you want to win, I'll let you choose. I'll let you choose either the pin, the magnet, or the sticker. And because we've got 3 lists. So yeah, we're just going to see how that rolls, because I don't know how it's going to work, but we're just going to roll with it. So
If you see me looking down a bunch, it's because I'm using my phone to run the calculator this show.
Yeah.
So I'm not ignoring.
no, we believe you. We believe you. So let's go ahead and have Sam go first this time.
All right, I'm very proud of my theme this week. I think you'll notice it. So my first game, all of them are actually going to be complete, if that's easier for you to remember.
Okay.
But first, Wild Arms for the PlayStation, complete.
Wild Arms.
Yes, yep. Wild Arms. Followed by Metal Arms, Glitch in the System for the GameCube,
yes,
complete.
That's my game right there.
Dark Arms, Beast Busters 1999 for the Neo Geo Pocket Color, complete.
What the heck is that?
And lastly, Arms for the Nintendo Switch, complete.
What
Did we get a genre on that third game? For the Neo Geo Pocket Color?
It is a sequel to an arcade game, if that helps. It's sort of a top-down shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay. Thought you were going to say legs for a minute.
That's yeah.
Not yet.
We got the theme.
Maybe after tomorrow.
We got it.
Yes.
Who knows?
So my guess is going to be. Oh yeah, wait. If you're in the chat, make sure you put your guess in for this list, because I'm going to do a giveaway per list. So in chat, go ahead and put your guess in now before we reveal the total. So my guess is, and then we're going to limit chatting right now so I can make sure we get everybody's number in. I'm going to say $350.
Okay. I had in my head 250, but I'm probably under on this one, but that's what I'm going for.
Okay.
All right.
Let's let chat catch up a little bit. If you're in chat and you want to win either a magnet, a sticker, or a pin, go ahead and put your number in now. We'll give you 10 seconds. Put your number in. Literally there's nothing you can lose by putting a number in chat. Do that right now. Do. That's the wrong game show. That's Jeopardy.
That's Jeopardy.
Yeah, it's
Price
Jeopardy.
is Right doesn't have a waiting song.
No.
It just has the theme song.
They don't deliberate very
No,
long.
they
do
don't. They kind of try to burn you
they
through
not?
that thing.
Do they do like the theme song for that at all?
No, Storyteller. It's
No.
not. It's not Price is Right rules. So guessing $1 is not going to help you in this.
Yeah.
No.
I was trying to think of like to do the do.
I killed my audio. Otherwise, I would have played it again. But anyway, everybody seems to have had their numbers in. So we're going to go ahead and reveal the total, which is what, Sam?
The total is $221.65. So I think LPD from the chat is just
He's
about right on.
$1
it.
off,
20.
LPD. All right, LPD.
Good
tell
job,
me,
man.
tell me if you want the sticker, the magnet, or the pin. You tell me, and I'll send it to you for free. That's insane. All right. Well, I'm way off. That Neo Geo game threw me off. Give me your totals for each game.
Yeah, so the breakdown is Wild Arms for the PlayStation Complete is $52.75. Metal Arms, Glitch in the System for the GameCube is $24.94.
What?
Dark Arms Beast Busters 1999 is $105.97. And Arms is $37.99.
I was way off on like every single one of those. I thought Glitch in the System was double that.
Yeah, I was thinking at least 40 on it. And I thought Arms was higher than that. Complete, are you sure? $37. That's like a steal.
That's what price charting said.
Yeah.
Man.
It's an older Switch game. Like, if it's used.
Yeah, but it's been holding its value pretty good.
LDP, you chose the
multiplayer
magnet.
games tend to.
Magnet's heading your way, LDP. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, good choice on the magnet.
DM me
Yep.
in Discord and remind me that you won the magnet because I will forget.
Alrighty.
I
Who's
also
going next?
Yeah, so go ahead and John, do you want to go next? And I'll go last?
Sure.
All right.
I've got a pretty easy to catch on to theme as well. You guys probably even know the games as I get into this, but first game on my list is Piano 3 for the GameCube Complete.
Mm-hmm.
Second game is Killer 7 for the GameCube Complete. Third game is Beautiful Joe for the GameCube Complete. And the fourth game is Resident Evil 4 for the GameCube Complete.
It's a lot of GameCube.
That's all Capcom, 4 of the Capcom 5, am I right?
It is.
Yeah. Yes.
The fifth one didn't make it.
The fifth one was Gotcha Force.
No. Yeah, no.
It's a Capcom game. It's exclusive. Fight me.
The fifth one was Dead Phoenix. It was a first-person shooter, I think, that didn't make it. Got canceled.
That's right. So go ahead and chat. Put your guess in for that list. John, why don't you list it off again? Just shotgun it.
Piano 3, complete for the GameCube. Killer 7, complete for the GameCube. Beautiful Joe, complete for the GameCube. And Resident Evil 4, complete for the GameCube.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and guess $130. John, go ahead.
Sam.
Oh, sorry, Sam. Sam, what's your guess?
Wow, something is wrong when I feel like your guess is way too low, Dan. I'm usually the one lowballing it.
Well, I'm all over the place.
I'm gonna guess 275.
Okay.
275. Okay. The total for my list
All right,
is
hold on.
184.
Oh, 184. All right.
184. Okay.
Sorry, did the chat not
That's
get all in
okay.
yet?
They had plenty of time. So the winner
You were
of this
closer than I
one
was.
is Storyteller. Storyteller in chat.
Yep.
You guessed 160, which is the closest to 184.
Yeah.
Yes. So go ahead and choose either the holographic sticker or the Super Nintendo style pin. It's a nice
And
pin.
while you're doing that,
It's
I'm
very
going to go through the
pokey.
list.
Go ahead.
Piano 3 for the GameCube Complete is $56. Killer 7 for the GameCube Complete is $67.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Beautiful Joe for the GameCube Complete is $31.
I was getting that confused
And-
with 13. That game 13.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's a lot.
Yeah,
more
I actually
expensive than
thought
that.
Killer 7 would be higher.
Yep. And then Resident Evil 4 for the GameCube Complete is $30.
Yeah, I wasn't too
So-
far off except for like that Killer 7. That's crazy.
Killer 7 killed you.
All right. Well,
All right, one more
congrats
list.
to Storyteller for winning the Super Nintendo pin. I'm going to mail that out to you. Hit me up on Discord, DM me, or just hit me up in chat somewhere and be like, hey, I won the thing. And then I'll get with you. All right. Here is my list. Here's my list. This also has a theme, but I will be very surprised if anybody gets this theme because it's incredibly obscure. So, first game is The Guy Game for the Xbox, complete in box. Next game is Pirates of Dark Water for the Super Nintendo, loose. Next game is Aero the Acrobat 2 for the Super Nintendo, loose. And the final game is Zero, the Kamikaze Squirrel for the Super Nintendo, loose. Yeah.
I've only heard of 2 of those games.
Do you want some genres?
I have heard of all those games.
I'll do genres. Guy Game is like a party game, kind of. It's really gross.
Are those all Sunsoft?
Nope. Pirates of
Aero
Dark...
the Acrobat Sunsoft.
I actually don't know what
that's
Pirates of Dark Water is, but Aero the Acrobat and Kamikaze Squirrel are both platformers.
I know what it is. It's an awesome cartoon show.
Oh, Handbone Johnny knows what Pirates of Dark Water is. What's the genre, Johnny, on Pirates of Dark Water? This is why we have chat on a podcast. This is what's up. So go ahead and throw your guesses in chat, and then John and Sam hit me up when you're ready.
I'm gonna guess 175. I'm probably horribly wrong.
Okay.
These are all super. You said they're all loose, though, right?
I have,
Guy Game is complete in box, but that's an Xbox
I have
game.
looked at Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel before, and I know that one can be pretty pricey.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to.
Do you now?
I'm just going to say 300. I'll just say 300.
300.
Going
Okay.
all out.
All right, I'm going to give chat a minute to catch up. We've got Pirates of Dark Water for Super Nintendo, The Guy Game for the Xbox, complete. Aero the Acrobat 2, loose. And Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel for the Super Nintendo, loose. And I'll tell you the theme. The theme is that these were all produced by a guy named Jeff Spangenberg. I hope I'm saying his name right. He founded Retro Studios and was also a producer on Metroid Prime.
Nice.
So he was a producer on all these games. He lived in Austin for a bit too.
So next time you play Metroid Prime, think of the Guy Game.
Yeah.
Never think of the Guy Game. I don't know if everybody knows the story of the Guy Game, but there was that game has some nudity in it, like video of female parts, not upper body female parts. And one of the girls that ended up being in the game turned out to be under 18, and they didn't know it. So they had to pull all of the copies off the shelves. So that game is actually kind of hard to find, and nobody should own it. Yeah, Adam's right in the chat. He says it was Girls Gone Wild, the video game, and it was terrible, and it's still terrible. But it's part of my retro.
Yeah. Now you're making me doubt my guess because it's probably one of the few Xbox games that's worth something.
So the actual retail price of this lot is $413.
Good gosh.
Let's see the chat. Let's see who won in chat. It looks like Tim, good old Tim, NeoPrime33 in chat was the highest, closest guess at $333. And Tim, you get an extremely cool holographic Retrologic sticker that is on its way to you, my guy, my friend Tim, who will be joining us tomorrow night, live, same time, same place, for a 35th anniversary Metroid panel. So come back. So we'll have Tim, we'll have John, we'll have Logan from the Reformed Gamers podcast. Yes. And he won a copy of the Guy game. No, I'm just kidding. That's not real. Congrats, Tim. Now, John, let's hear the real winner of the three of us, because I feel like I was in the running here.
We'll go through your list really quick.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I'll
I
go
want to
through my
know
list. Guy game complete in box is $77.
Jeez.
Pirates of Dark, right, for an Xbox game, crazy. Pirates of Dark Water for the Super Nintendo is $77. Arrow the Acrobat 2 loose is $59. And Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel loose is $199.
You picked some very obscure games that I do not know
that's
about.
why I was at least
So you
somewhat
killed me.
confident in guessing above.
I
your guess,
literally
John,
just
because
went
I knew
to
Zero was probably worth more.
I went to Jeff Spangenberg's Wikipedia page and just went down and picked a bunch of games. And I didn't know what they were worth until I plugged them into Price's Retro or price charting, and I was like, "Oh, these are expensive." So that was
your randomness put me from first place to last place like in a hurry.
off.
So
It paid off.
Dan was $182 off. I was $266 off, and Sam was $204. So that makes Dan the winner this week.
Bringing it back. Bringing it back.
But you might have got beat by somebody in the chat. I'm not sure.
That is very possible.
Maybe.
Got several people playing in chat.
I don't know how to find out, and we're not going to do that today. So we're gonna move on. We'll have to figure that out at some point, because that would be really fun. We've got a couple of weekly topics we're gonna hit, and the first one is we're gonna chat a little bit about how we're doing in Chrono Trigger. Just for a smooch. Oh yeah, Tim, make sure that you hit me up on Discord to remind me to send you this bad boy right here. Congrats to LDP. Congrats to Storyteller from the All In podcast, and congrats to Tim. Happy days. I love giving stuff away. And if you want to buy one of these, go to retrologic.games and spend less than $5 to pick one up, free shipping. You can't find a better deal on the internet. Okay, so Chrono Trigger. I am in. We're gonna get spoilery, so just be warned. If you don't want spoilers, then just skip ahead 10 minutes or so. I am in the distant future where everything's destroyed. And I got to like the food storage. I watched the video of the Earth being destroyed by a lava monster thing coming out from the Earth. And that's kind of where I stopped. And something that I'm noticing about this game, which I don't know if it's everybody's experience or if this is just me because it's an old game and I'm really good at RPGs, but is this game like really easy? Like in general?
There's a point in the game where like it gets like it. There's like a flip of the switch. To me, it's what it felt like. Because I remember playing this game the first time, thinking the same thing, and then I got to a point where I got stuck, and I wasn't the appropriate level for where I was at. So,
okay,
a lot of it depends on how you play too, because the game actually does become somewhat open-ended in the order you can do things. So because of that, you might wind up ahead of where you're supposed to be.
Yep.
Yeah, because I don't feel like I'm doing any like grinding per se. But I am trying to like experience everything. So I'm not taking any shortcuts. So I don't know if that has like over leveled me at all, but everything just feels like a steamroll. Like bosses feel like steamroll. There was that like guardian robot in front of the food storage room that had the two little drones. And you know, everything just feels like a cakewalk. But if what you're saying is true, John, and there's a spike at some point, Hambone Johnny in the chat's even saying easy for now.
Well, if you want to be steamrolled, you can actually challenge the final boss at almost any point in the game.
Yeah, different times.
That's cool. Yeah, because I haven't even made it to end of time hub like we were talking about before, Sam. I guess I'm about to get there, but I haven't even made it to the hub. I'm still on like story path to get to the main story. So yeah, that's been my experience so far. Where are you guys at?
Well, I'm still where I was last time because, like I said, I didn't get a chance to put any time into that. I put all my time into Metopia. So this week will be Chrono Trigger week for me. I'll catch up to you guys, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah, I just made it to the end of time. Like I said, I got to fight Frog Specchio, get my extra magic capsule for doing that. And then I did a little backtracking through the parts of the future that I skipped over, namely the sewers, because I didn't want the extra levels. So I skipped that part since you don't have to go there.
So why, if you can say this without spoiling anything, why wouldn't you want the extra levels?
It's just to see that additional reward.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just trying to get the frog version of Specchio.
Specchio is this character. He actually teaches everybody magic that can learn magic. And he stays at the end of time, which you can revisit throughout the game. And as you level up, he changes forms, and you can challenge him again and earn new rewards. So his frog form only exists when you are under level 10. So if you want to fight his frog form and get the extra reward for doing so, you have to be under level 10 when you reach the end of time.
Just Chrono is under 10?
I believe it's just Chrono has to be under.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. There's lots of weird... I feel like this game is a lot like Majora's Mask, where there's just like... Majora's Mask, where like... there's just mystery stuff happening, and if you don't like already know, you're gonna miss some of it, you know. I wonder.
Time travel, man.
I wonder if time
and
travel.
there are a bunch of different endings, so there's always. It's kind of a game meant to be played more than once. I think it was one of the first games to do a New Game Plus. I think it actually coined the term.
Yep.
Cool. Well, yeah, we'll have to see. I am to 3 to 5 hours in right now, so once I get a bit further in, it would be really cool to chat. I don't know if I'm going to finish it by the end of June, so this might just be a continuing thing until I beat it through July. We'll see. We shall see. So we've got a couple of anniversaries today. We are going to burn through some of those. We've got 32 years ago today is the 32 years ago today, June 14th, 1989, the Game Boy version of Tetris was released in Japan. Tetris. So where was everyone's first introduction to Tetris? Because mine was not on the Game Boy, actually. Where was everybody's first time they were introduced to Tetris? Do you remember?
Mine was probably Tetris and Dr. Mario on the Super Nintendo.
Mine was NES.
I want to say mine was either NES, but that might be a false memory. Like, I know it exists, so I think that's the earliest one. Or Tetris. What was there were a couple different versions of Tetris on the N64. There was the new Tetris.
Tetris Attack.
No.
Or no, Tetrisphere.
Tetrisphere. Tetrisphere, which is like not really Tetris.
Yeah.
So something like that, I feel like. It was like some newer version. But what a game that just kind of keeps going and will never give up. And in its modern iteration, you have things like Tetris 99 and Tetris Effect, which I haven't played. Anybody have experience with Tetris Effect?
There it is on Game Pass, so I tried it. I honestly didn't like it. The array of colors and lights just bothered me. I just found it distracting.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's supposed to draw you in and do all these things, but I could not get over it.
John,
like, why are all these glowing fish appearing and disappearing? I'm just trying to play Tetris here.
John, you were holding up your CIB copy of the new Tetris?
Tetris. Well, it's Tetris DX. That's basically the original Game Boy Tetris in color.
Hey,
It's amazing.
The colors
they're
help.
just added colors.
I'm not gonna lie, the colors help quite a bit. So
Yeah.
And then
You get used to, if you play the regular Game Boy Tetris, like the basically their way of distinguishing the colors of the blocks was like changing the look of the squares.
right.
Some of the squares are solid. Some of them had like little squares inside of them. Some of them were shaded.
I just
There's
found it
just some
easier
little
with the colors. Plus, on the Game
details.
Boy, playing the Game Boy version, it's the ghosting on the Game Boy makes anything just look harder. It's harder to play.
To me, the Game Boy is like the way to play it. Like, that's my favorite version of Tetris.
Yeah, on a Game Boy Pocket, it looks amazing, but original Game Boy, that screen needs some help. So Sam, you put down here Earthbound Beginnings, which was dropped. Oh, wasn't that dropped like during an
Just
E3
6 years
announcement?
ago on the Wii U.
Wasn't that an
Yeah.
E3 announcement? And it was like available today.
I believe so.
'Cause I
Yeah.
downloaded it
and
as
I
well.
mean, I think a lot. I'd just been thinking about Mother 3 a lot because it still comes up in predictions, and I think a lot of why it seems so likely was because this happened out of nowhere. Like, and people knew this game existed. There was a complete translation. It got auctioned off at some point. Somebody did dump the ROM online. But it's like, oh, Nintendo's never going to officially... I mean, it was like Star Fox 2. It was
Right.
just one of those unreleased games that just kind of missed its deadline and got forgotten. But they finally put it out, which was really cool. Really cool for Earthbound fans. I will say that if you're interested in Earthbound, just play Earthbound. Earthbound Beginnings feels like a prototype of Earthbound. I
Very
think it's
grindy.
missing a lot of, well, and the grindiness is in part, especially near the end, because of cut content. There was supposed to be another zone before the last one, and they left everything as is without really giving you a chance to level up.
Now,
Yeah,
when
it's a
did
lot
this
less
game-
forgiving. The battles are true random encounters, unlike Earthbound.
Mhm.
So it has a lot more of those things that will infuriate you about old RPGs. And I actually think it's missing a lot of like the quirk and charm that makes Earthbound special, honestly. Not that it isn't there, but it's not as... It feels like a not fully realized version of Earthbound.
It's like a piece of
So
history.
what year did this come out on the Famicom?
Good question. I want
That's
to
a good
say
question, Sam. Look that up.
it was late because I know the North American one was not released on account of the Super Nintendo being out by the time the translation project was complete.
Because I was kind of wondering what the time difference between Beginnings and Earthbound.
Released on
was-
Japan, July 27th, 1989.
Oh, 89.
Okay, so there's quite a bit of difference there, yeah.
Yeah, but on those older games, it could be a year between Japanese and international.
Yeah,
Not
of
only
course,
that, but if it's anything like Earthbound, there's a lot of text and a lot of weird translating that has to be done because of how contextual everything is, like pop culture wise, in those games that are set in a modern era. I would imagine they looked at this game and they were like, this is not even worth bringing over to America because of all the translating they'd have to do. And then they did it later. Obviously.
Mother 2 is probably came out in Japan quite a bit earlier than Earthbound did here. So
Yeah.
they're probably closer than what I think in my head. Because Earthbound was, 93, 94?
Mother 2 came out in 94 in Japan, 95 in North America.
Okay.
Okay. Just a year.
That's right. Yep, 1 year.
Um,
But still, that's 5 years between them, like even in Japan. So
But Earthbound
definitely
was
see it.
known for having a delayed multiple times development cycle. That's actually one of the there's like a joke about it that was cut from the game. It's one of the things that
Oh.
came out of that recent file on the
Oh, nice.
translation is they cut that out because they're like, well, US fans wouldn't understand this because in Japan it was a big story. Like everyone's like, oh, when's the next
Everybody's
Mother
waiting.
game coming out?
Yeah,
And
they
then it
had
got
the
delayed
first
like
one.
3 times.
It was the Breath of the Wild of that time period.
Duke Nukem forever.
Duke Nukem forever.
And it's such an interesting, like, it almost feels like a make good to Earthbound fans, since they're obviously never going to release Mother 3 in any capacity officially at this point. It just seems like a foregone conclusion. So they were like, yeah, well, you can have this one, which is easier for us to give you.
It's a bad joke to them, like, but we know you want Mother 3, so here's the original.
And it was cool. Like, it's cool to have. I downloaded it just because it's like, oh, that's neat. That's not something that you see every day. That Nintendo doesn't usually do that. But I don't think I put an hour in it. It's I don't know about if you're
it honestly is it's a pretty bare bones RPG. Like,
it's not Donkey Kong.
And that's why I emphasize, like, if you want to get into the series, do just start with Earthbound. If you've played Earthbound and you love Earthbound, then by all means, play this game too. If you're curious about where Earthbound came from and how it got to be what it is. I think Mother 3 can stand on its own, but I don't. I mean, it is a rough game. It's hard to sell people on. I did not appreciate the special pricing that it got compared to the Virtual Console. I know it's not a huge difference, but when every other NES game is $5 and this one is $8, when every other Super Nintendo game is $8 and Earthbound is $10.
Yep.
Why, Nintendo?
Was that a thing?
Yeah,
on
they did that over.
You have to do that. Yeah.
Yes.
It's the Earthbound tax.
Yeah, it's
weird.
even more
You
than
gotta pay more for
Mario or Zelda.
It does make sense to me that Earthbound Beginnings is more, because it's not just put Mario 3 as is on the Wii U. It was a whole translation reprogramming that had to be done, extra work put into it. Earthbound doesn't make any sense to me. It's the Earthbound tax. I don't know what to tell you. Cray. Yep. Good. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for that. And John, you put in here Super Game Boy, which was released 27 years ago today.
Yes.
Super Game Boy is awesome.
So I got a Super Game Boy pretty early on. It had to have been 95, 96. Because maybe. Because I remember getting it and playing a few games, but what really made me use my Super Game Boy is when Pokemon came out. And I could play Pokemon on my TV. And I was like, this is the best ever. Like, the only thing better than playing Pokemon on your TV with a Super Game Boy is playing Pokemon on your TV with a transfer pack on Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah.
Because you could play like 3
I had
times
that
speed.
when it was new.
Yeah.
I didn't have a Super Game Boy until very recently.
Oh, nice. Yeah, see with that one you could play like 3 times speed and blow through the game a lot faster. But the Super Game Boy one was playing Pokemon on that was definitely cool too. Got some special borders with the Pikachu edition when it came out.
Donkey Kong 94. That is the definitive Super Game Boy game.
Yeah.
There were even some games that had a 2-player functionality that was only available through the Super Game Boy. Can you name some of them off the top of your head? Otherwise, I'll just.
I think Wario Blast was one. I think most of the Bomberman stuff.
Yep. But I'm not sure that it was only available. I don't know if you could do it link cable. Because Game Boy was really pushing that link cable like for quite a while. Before the Super Game Boy came out. So I'm wondering if it was something that you had to have the link cable to do multiplayer. And maybe with the Super Game Boy you could just do it, co-op, couch co-op
Yeah,
style.
like one screen stuff. Like Bomberman Collection, Bomberman GB 1 and 2 all had multiplayer on the Super Game Boy. Some
trying to remember.
Some Dragon Ball Z games. I guess it's not as common as I thought it was.
Super F1 came with the link cable.
Oh, Killer Instinct.
Maybe.
Killer Instinct for the Game Boy. In case you didn't want to play the Super Nintendo version, you could.
Hey, I had the Game Boy version first.
Yeah, not very many. Tons of Japanese games that I'm not even going to try to pronounce here. Puyo Puyo.
Puyo Puyo.
So yeah, not very
Which
many, just a
nobody here.
few.
Anyway,
Fighter.
it was just something. This totally revitalized the Game Boy,
Oh, and Sam is right.
Like-
Wario Blast, 2-player,
which was basically Bomberman. with
basically
Wario in it.
Bomberman. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, basically Bomberman again.
I had a Super Game Boy later. I didn't get it like at launch. I got it much later as like a collector's item, and I thought it was a cool novelty. I mean, some of my favorite Game Boy games: Pokemon, Link's Awakening, Donkey Kong Land 1 through 3. Yeah, it was such a novelty to be able to like pop that up on the big screen. I love that.
You also got to remember this was the only way to play these games backlit. At the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Whenever that thing released, all your Game Boy games were stuck on a monochrome screen with no light. So if you wanted to play it, like, this was just an enhanced version of any of those games playing it on this. So
Insane.
it definitely changed Game Boy for the better.
Okay, Sam, you put in a couple of announcements in here from E3. Some re-releases,
Yeah.
some stuff that's coming out. Why don't you burn through some
We
of
are a
that?
retro show, so there's a lot of new stuff
Yeah.
announced at E3, but we're going to focus on the old stuff. So probably the big one is, which you may have heard about by now, is the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. There's not a lot of details given other than this is Final Fantasy 1 through 6, and it is coming to Steam and mobile, and just Steam and mobile. That's it.
I'm so
For now, anyway.
I just want to ignore this announcement because it makes me so mad on so many levels. Yeah, why? Who made that decision? And they were like, "No, just put it on Steam and mobile. That's all." Nobody plays their Switch or their Xbox or their
Well, PC is the easiest thing to make a game for. It's development builds are probably running on a PC at first, so it's not strange even if they intend to bring it for that. Now, you would think if they wanted to bring it to all platforms, they would be ready to announce that by now. I don't know their reasoning for not doing that.
Just announce it. Just say coming to consoles.
It is
later.
all the stranger because there are existing ports still for sale on Steam of all of these games. They are not reviewed well by users because they carry over from the existing mobile ports.
Right.
They have retouched graphics that don't look good. So you upset both the purists and the people who want something that looks better than the original.
If they're not 3D or...
On the one hand, it's like, you can already buy these games on Steam. But on the other hand, it's like, well, they did a bad job last time. So if they want to fix that mistake, I can commend them for that.
Yeah.
But also, put it more places.
And Chad is saying that
what-
Nintendo, they could announce it for the Nintendo Switch tomorrow, and Nintendo wanted to keep that.
And I
announcement.
hate that about E3, that we get announcements and we don't get confirmations of all the platforms. There's precedent for that.
Yeah.
They'll announce because something, a third party game is announced at Sony's press conference or whatever. They'll just say it's coming to PlayStation, and then later you might get a confirmation. Oh yeah, it's actually coming to Switch and Xbox too.
Yep. Especially with Square, they don't like to announce all the platforms
it's
right at
weird
once.
for Square. I don't know. There have been a couple announcements through the past couple days where stuff is said, where PlayStation is pushed, and then later you find out it's not just PlayStation. It's like Sony is like trying to manipulate behind the scenes instead of just having their own press conference.
Well, yeah, but people
Yeah,
do that all the
Sony-
time for announcements. It's like
Sony and Square
you'll
are
see an
pretty tight
Xbox
still.
logo at the end of an ad an
Yeah.
ad for a game, even though it's multi-platform, because they pay for that. So
The kicker
I
for
mean-
me on this is that it's not a collection. Like, they're going to sell all these games individually, and I think it's going to be a hard sell for like at least
Well,
the
and
first two
that's-
games.
That's a criticism of the existing Steam ports is they're high. I mean, I talked about this with Chrono Trigger. It's in the same boat. All of the complaints that people have about the Steam port of Chrono Trigger apply to all those as well. At the very least, even if they don't look great, if they're better than the existing ones, I will welcome a working port of Final Fantasy V, because that's one I would like to play. The only really good port of that, for those of us that live in the United States, is the
GBA.
Game Boy Advance one, which is hard to come by these days.
yeah.
I just feel like I would like 5 because 5 has
We know, John.
all the sensibilities of 4 and 6, where they kind of honed in on telling a more elaborate story, but also has the job system of 3. So I feel like that has potential to be my favorite in the series.
I think though, like if we look at other games that, like Square put Dragon Quest 1, 2, 3 on the Switch, and they're priced like way better than what Steam normally does. Like I think you can get the first Dragon Quest game for $5. The second one has the Super Nintendo graphics. So I think it's like $8, and then the third game is $10. Which is
The thing to keep
not
in mind
bad.
about Steam, though, is you can just wishlist it and it'll be 80% off by next
Yeah,
Christmas.
eventually it'll
Right,
go on
right,
sale.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the same with the Switch almost,
Yeah, the Switch has done that too. I think you can get the first game whenever it's on sale.
At
for
least
like as low as $250.
third parties have been more consistent about whenever there is a sale, Steam, anywhere, they will match that price on all platforms for
Sometimes,
digital, at
yeah.
least.
Yep.
That's
Alright.
my only thing.
But
that I
yeah,
don't like,
as
is
as
that
little
it's not collection.
time as they gave it in their conference, I would not expect much from this. It's actually unclear how retouched the graphics even are. They just kind of said pixel remaster. They put some footage up that could be the original that they're remastering, or it could be the remaster itself.
It looked more
Oh.
like the original to me. Like I hope that it's more than. I mean, don't get
But
me
yeah,
wrong.
I'm just saying, don't get your hopes up for like the Dragon Quest remake where it's made in the Octopath engine.
Oh no, but I mean, even if they just did like, I went back and replayed Dragon Quest 1, a couple weeks ago, and it's still totally playable. I just wish it like. I hope that we get all of those on the Switch. I would go back and play.
Yeah,
be
but I
more
mean, I'm
willing to go back and play
expecting like my highest hope is that its quality is on par with the Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon port
Oh, yeah.
for Switch,
Yeah.
which
I hope
still
they
had
actually-
its issues with speeding up the music when you speed up the tempo, which is
Well, and as far as Square goes, I hope they're better off just leaving it alone. Because like with the Dragon Quest games, they put like some like
Oh,
I don't know, they like they're computer sprite. They're not even sprites. They're just 3D images for the characters and the enemies and stuff. And then they use like the Super Famicom background versions for the overworld and the dungeons.
I hate how it looks.
Chrono
I
Trigger is
didn't
not
download
that
them.
bad on Steam, but I've just looking at the screenshots of like 5, I'm like, oh,
I didn't even download
so
them.
yeah,
I don't want
I
this.
love the original Dragon Warriors 1, 2, and 3, but I'm not gonna play them on my Switch as is. I'm hyped for the remake, like the Octopath remake, but yeah, as they are right now, no way. They're so gross looking.
Which
What
that's
else?
the third game.
Yeah. What else?
So
we
the
have
other
here,
items
sir?
I have on here are a announcement of Tato Milestones. This is an arcade compilation. There are a lot of arcade compilations on Switch. It's several games, but the only one of these that this is being done by Hamster, who has put a lot of arcade games out on Switch. They're responsible for Arcade Archives. All of these games in the compilation, I guess I can rattle them off right here. It's the Ninja Warriors, Halley's Comet, the Fairyland Story, Chack and Pop, Elevator Action, Alpine Ski, Wild Western, and Frontline. Of those, Chack and Pop is the only one that isn't already an Arcade Archives title that you can buy on the eShop individually. So I'm not sure that this is really big news. I did look up footage of Chack and Pop because I was curious what it is. It's a super weird game. Apparently, it's also really hard.
Elevator action.
You're like a little chicken thing that lays egg bombs.
Elevator action is the only of these that I've even heard of. So I
mean they're all arcade, so there wasn't much information beyond those are the games that are going to be featured. Maybe you'll save money by bundling them this way. Maybe there will be additional features that aren't in Arcade. But Arcade Archives is pretty rich, feature rich as far as, what you expect from something that's just close to the original and
they're
does
cheap.
what you need it to do. Yeah.
I wonder if that Chack and Pop was a influence on Bomb Chicken, the game that's on
It
the
might
Switch.
be. There's at least a similar concept.
Yeah.
So
Totally
the last
possible.
of the old games being made new that came out from the indie showcase today is Toy Soldiers HD. So this is an HD remake of an Xbox Live Arcade game called Toy Soldiers, which was a sort of tower defense strategy game. Interesting, at least from this trailer. I didn't play the original. It seems to be somewhat set in World War One, but also it's World War One being recreated with little toy soldiers. So like you've got tanks that have like wind up keys on them and stuff.
Oh, nice. Not to be confused with Small Soldiers, the movie.
yeah.
No.
Or Toy Commander for the Dreamcast, which is a multiplayer
Yes.
battle.
Or Army Men Sergeant
Or
Zero.
Army Men. Yeah, Army Men.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam, for putting that list together. I just did not pay attention to anything E3 after the Microsoft thing, so I appreciate you pushing that. Let's go into some community content. We are going to do... Oh, also, check it out, everyone. Same time, same place, 9:30 p.m. CDT here on the Retrologic Twitch. We've got a 35th anniversary of Metroid panel. It's going to be me. It's going to be John. It's going to be Tim from the Nintendo Dads. It's going to be Logan from the Reformed Gamers podcast. And we are going to talk every game in the series of Metroid. We're going to talk the whole history, our experiences with it. It's going to be so fun. Please come and join us. Hang out with us as we talk some Metroid. Actually, is it 9:30 or 9? I think it's 9.
You have 9 in the notes.
I have 9 in the notes. It might be 9:30 though. Stay tuned for more.
You're the one running the panel.
Go up early and win an extra special prize.
I'm the one running the
Yes.
panel. Just be ready at 9 and hang out until we're ready. So that's going to be super fun. So make sure you are around for that. And I have put off announcing any game for Retro Rewind because I want to see what Nintendo has for us tomorrow morning. Speaking of Nintendo tomorrow morning, we have our obligatory Nintendo E3 predictions theme song. We've got a couple of predictions ourselves, and then I have a bunch of community ridiculous predictions that people just went crazy with. I may have asked for that, but we'll see. Thank you, Flynn. Goodbye. Peace out. Again, go follow Flynn. Fernley Flynn. She's awesome. So we are going to each do our lists, and then we'll jump into the community stuff. So why don't we start with me this time? Trying to rotate who we're starting with things. And so what we've got done is we've got a likely prediction, like something that was probably going to happen that we're excited about, a personal favorite prediction, just like something that we would love. And then we have a wildest dream prediction, never going to happen in a million years, but you would just crap your pants if it actually happened. Tim in the chat says 9 p.m. 9 p.m. for the Metroid panel tomorrow. So my likely prediction is this Donkey Kong game that has been rumored. I'm not a big fan of rumors. You may know this about me. This is one that I particularly try to stay not excited for because, man, any new Donkey Kong game 2D platformer, rhythm game, 3D platformer. I do not care. That is money from my pocket into the bank of Nintendo anytime there's a Donkey Kong game. So let's get that. Let's get that announcement. And then we'll go around the horn. So John, what is your likely prediction?
I think we hear something about Mario Kart during
Really?
E3. Like, it's been
9?
forever. You can't just
Is it
keep
Mario
pushing.
Kart 9 or something else?
I'm not going to put any restrictions on it. I'm just going to say Mario Kart in general. I don't know if it's, it might even be they announce new cars for Mario Kart Live.
Mario
I
Kart
don't know.
Live DLC.
You know, when the numbers get that high, they usually abandon them.
Where's my Yoshi at?
Windows 9 never happened. We went straight to 10 for some reason. Something
Yeah, so
about
we're
the
gonna
number
get
9
iPhone-
freaks people out.
iPhone X.
Mario Kart 10. Mario Kart X. There you go.
Yep.
You heard it here.
Awesome. Okay, Sam, what's your likely prediction?
So the likeliest prediction I can come up with is a non-prediction, which is that we're not going to get a Switch Pro. I've just been very vocal about this. I have been a denier of the Switch Pro so many times, and I feel like I have to say it because I think people are buying into the rumor just because they repeat it too many times. But Nintendo has explicitly said, we're talking exclusively about software. It's
Yeah.
one thing if they just say, we're talking about software. Like, there is no reason to use the word exclusively.
I mean, I
If
knew
you're
that
going to
rumor
reveal
was
hardware.
I knew that rumor was dead 2 Thursdays ago when it was like, this is it. Today's the day.
Yeah.
Just wait for the announcement.
Everybody who said that has lost their credibility. and you
Like,
should hold
I'm
them
never
accountable for it.
listening to any of you jokers ever again. I didn't before, but now I'm just going to start blocking all of you.
And the thing is, I can believe that there was something in development because there's always something in development,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean it's about to release. And I think especially with the chip shortage situation going
Mm-hmm.
on right now, even if Nintendo wants to release new hardware, it's probably in their best interest to just wait.
You can't even keep Nintendo Switches in stock right now. You can't keep your
Yeah.
current Switch in stock. You're going to release another one?
And the Switch is still outselling all the new hardware because the new hardware cannot be stocked.
Yeah.
It's funny because the only Nintendo Switches that I have seen, like on store shelves, are the Animal Crossing ones. So it's like they are pulling old stock from their warehouses to sell because they can't, make them fast enough. They're like, oh yeah, we have all these Animal Crossing Switches still out in the warehouse. Let's pull them up and sell them. It's our
So yeah,
safety
that's
stock.
my non-prediction. If you want a positive one from me, I think we are going to see Breath of the Wild 2. I
Yeah.
don't know that it's going to come out this year. I would love to see a date,
Yeah.
even if it's just a year, even
I
if it's
wouldn't-
just, hey, we're going to have it out next year.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if that's our Christmas game. At all. Wouldn't be surprised.
But yeah,
at all.
I think December is likely. I think they'll clear November out for Pokemon.
Right.
But big games have come out in December before. Smash came out in December.
Okay. So our personal favorite, something that would just be really cool. I really want to see some kind of F-Zero. I think the most likely thing at this point would be some kind of almost like a mod of F-Zero GX, but it's F-Zero 99. And I've heard people talk about it before, and I'm just like, it's too good of an idea. Like, I would play so much of that, I'm such a big F-Zero GX fan that would probably be in my top list of played games were that to be a real thing. It's like a fresh enough idea for Nintendo to be like, okay, we'll revisit F-Zero since it's a fresh idea. And they have the 99 format, nailed down. That's my thing. That would be my personal favorite prediction.
As Jesse from the Nintendo Dad said, if they did that, you would go from 99 to 10 people after the first turn that takes everybody out because they wiped out off the.
But that's F-Zero,
So- And I'll just bring it up because it actually reminding me of an obscure retro game, and that's what we're here to talk about ultimately anyway. But you talk about F-Zero. I recently learned of a Super Famicom game, never released outside Japan, called Zoku Legend of Bashin. And it is a hybrid futuristic racing game and beat 'em up. where
Nice.
you are trying to beat a time limit to get to the end of like this maze-like network of roads, and there's other cars that crash into you, and if you lose too much health, your car spins out, and then you have to fight a bunch of guys to get back to your car and get back in it and keep driving while the timer keeps going down. And I'm like, this would be so awesome if you were Captain Falcon. So I want them to do that, but F-Zero.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I'm gonna look at a video of it real quick, and this thing looks insane. See,
I might have to pick a copy of this.
Yeah,
up
I've
and
thought
play
about
it.
buying it. It's a little pricey for a Super Famicom game. It's like $40, I
That's
think. on Price
awesome. Look
Charting.
at this. It's a beat 'em up, and then you're racing again, and you're off. That's sick. Yeah.
$40 loose or complete?
I think loose. I usually look at loose prices.
Yeesh. Wow. Okay, what about y'all? John, personal favorite prediction?
I'm really hoping that we get either a 2D Zelda or Metroid new game or remake.
Mm-hmm.
Something, just I don't know if it's I really don't want a Link to the Past remade. Like I think they need to leave that one alone. Even if it's just they
don't need to remake Super Metroid. You can't remake perfection.
Yeah, leave those alone. Like I said, even if it's bring Fusion to the port Fusion to the Switch, or Link Between Worlds, I think would be fantastic on the Switch. You wouldn't even have to do a whole lot, just kind of clean it up, make it look good on nice resolution instead of what is the 3DS, like 240.
Yeah, it's pretty low.
So I mean, if basically just do to Link Between Worlds what you did to Miitopia, and make it look nice and clean and polished on the Switch, and give me that. I'd gladly play through that again.
I want all the DS and 3DS remakes on the Switch. I want a Zelda portable collection on the Switch. That's what I would want. Link's Awakening through the 2DS games up through Flat Link, whatever that one's called.
That was Link Between Worlds.
That's the one.
Flat Link.
Flat Link 2.
It's a good thing that Dan does not name the Zelda games.
That would be
Legend
horrible.
of Zelda Flat Link.
I keep saying Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be called Death of the Wild. That's my prediction. Let's see if that comes true. Sam, your personal favorite prediction?
Yeah, I've made this prediction a few times. It seems less likely to me now because Splatoon 3 is in development and out next year. But
Yes.
I was thinking
So hyped.
a while ago what else because I thought Splatoon 3 was not going to happen until we had the next hardware platform. So I was thinking, well, Splatoon's big. What else could they do with it? And I thought a tactics game, a turn-based tactics game, because that's huge right now. We got Metal Slug Tactics announced a couple days ago. It seems like you can just slap tactics on the end of any franchise, and it sounds like a viable strategy.
And I will play it. I will always play it.
And I will too.
tactically.
And I think with Splatoon, it would work really well. Something in the style of Mario and Rabbids, where there's a lot of movement and a lot of abilities that influence your ability to move, because that's built into the mechanics of Splatoon with the ink. You can swim faster through your own ink. Enemy ink slows you down. I think there's a lot to work with there.
Yeah, I'm super down for that. I'm super down. Even if it was even if they okay, check it out. They partner with the team that brought you Wargroove, right? And it's not like a Wargroove expansion, but it's kind of like Cadence of Hyrule, where they develop a Splatoon version of those mechanics into an indie game. Slam dunk. $20, $30 out of my pocket right then, downloaded.
I almost think you could make it into a Wargroove expansion, and add another race of people into the game.
Inkling Kingdom.
Yeah, the Inkling Kingdom. I mean, they've got random stuff on there. They got dogs and just you name it. So
Awesome.
it's fantasy based.
Okay, time for the fun stuff. Time for the fun stuff, guys. Wildest dream predictions, and we also asked our community for their wildest dream predictions. I'm going to do mine first, and this is one that I have said before, and I will never shut up about because it's too good of an idea. You all know how much of a Starlink fan that I am. I thought the game was genius. It needed a little bit more polish. It needed a little bit more diversity in the gameplay. But the ship controls were perfect, and the story kind of lended itself to a Lilat system experience. So I want Starlink 2, and it's just Lilat system. Star Fox characters, open universe Star Fox. You dive down to a planet and you have procedurally generated on-rail shooting, and then you fly back up, and there's the Great Fox, and then at the end of the universe is Andros, and you're working your way through the universe. Come on, somebody. Come on, Ubisoft. We got our Mario and Rabbids 2. Let's get Starlink 2 and just get rid of all the Starlink stuff. Just Star Fox.
I think if something like that existed, we'd already know about it by now. They're not very good at keeping secrets.
Yeah, but Mario and Rabbids came out before Starlink. Okay, so what, next year?
Yeah.
Next year we're going to get our Starlink 2, and it's going to be all Star
Starlink 2.
Fox.
How would you feel if the direction they decided to take Star Fox was a very multiplayer focused?
Depends on what they... Dogfighting would be awesome, but I don't want
Yeah,
that.
I
I feel like
I don't want
that's what you can
N64. I don't want that. Okay, the dogfighting in Starlink was really good. That was excellent. They did a great job with that.
I mean, I had a lot of fun with Star Wars Squadrons last year. I think there's an audience for that, but it's odd because usually you see more of that on PC. You know, the really hardcore people who have their flight sticks and
But they did a great job with it.
whole simulation. But
that's the one thing about that game that makes it sing is it controls perfectly. Chef's kiss. Mwah.
I feel like Star Fox would really shine if you did like co-op missions.
Oh man,
Can you actually get your wingman?
I think if you wanted Starlink 2,
Yell at other
you should have
people, "Hey Einstein, I'm on your side."
bought more toys. I was gonna say, if you want Starlink 2, you should have bought more toys.
Should have bought more toys.
I think that killed it.
Don't
bought them when
do
they were still full
don't do
price.
the toy thing again. I don't need more toys. I need Star Fox in a video game with lore and space opera and shooty pew pews. That's what I want. John, your wildest dream prediction. Let's hear it.
I think I want this new DK game to be an RPG game. I've mentioned it several times, and I'm still sticking with it. Like, I think we need DK RPG, and like it needs to be similar vein to how Mario RPG got started. King K. Rool needs to be a part of your party because he got kicked out by like a bigger baddie. I don't know. There's just so much that's been built upon with DK lore over the time. Like I think that world would fit an RPG game like just fine. They could totally do it.
I was totally not tracking with you until you mentioned Mario RPG. And then I was like, oh, yeah. Okay, totally. Definitely. Can Candy Kong be in my party?
Sure. Or she could be your salesman, like of selling you your armor and stuff. I don't know.
As long as Candy's down, I'm down. I would not hate that, but I don't want that to be the new Donkey Kong game. I want that to be the indie partnership game. That's what I want. I want Octopath Traveler Donkey Kong.
The sprite-based Donkey Kong.
Yeah, that would be great. Go back to the computer-generated sprites.
Yeah.
Go back to the first Donkey Kong.
Have there been many franchises besides Mario that have had really successful RPG spin-offs?
There's not a whole lot of people.
I can think of a couple
try
other
it.
RPG spin-offs, and sometimes the games are okay. Like Sonic had one.
That one was pretty good. That was BioWare?
Mega Man X
the-
Command Mission is a halfway decent game.
Was that BioWare, the
The-
Sonic one? That was BioWare,
It
right?
was on the DS, right? Or Game Boy Advance.
No, that was DS. Sonic Chronicles? Sonic...
Yeah, that's what it was.
I want to say it was BioWare. I remember the logo. I can't remember any other ones, though. tactics stuff, kind of.
It doesn't
Metal Slug
happen very often.
Yeah. But
Steam
I like
World.
it. Steam World, yeah. Which is like, that's kind of their thing, is changing genres every game. Okay,
Please
Sam.
don't give me card-based.
I don't...
Card-based
listen,
Donkey Kong RPG.
it depends on how they do it. Card-based can either be awesome or be horrible. Okay, Sam, wildest
Big
dream.
trend now.
Wildest dream
card-based
prediction.
stuff. My wildest dream is Odama 2, or just a spiritual successor to Odama. I don't care. Hey, nobody knows what Yu Saito has been up to in the last couple years.
Do you think we
so
can make
it's
Odama
possible.
2 in Game Builder Garage? Is there speech
probably. I
recognition?
mean, you can't do speech recognition.
There's no
The thing is,
microphone on the
speech
Switch.
recognition
Oh, there's no
isn't
microphone.
essential to the game. Like, you could probably do it with a radial menu
Okay.
if you had to, but
No, they're just going to release it with the new Switch microphone. Like,
I don't
it'll
know.
just be its
Game
own-
Builder Garage itself
The
works
Switch-
with USB mice.
The We Speak 2.
So you could probably have a USB microphone plug into your Switch if you just did a firmware update to allow for
Yeah,
it.
there you
Okay,
go.
there it is. Somebody needs to go make
And they
Odama
could
2.
still release a very cheap one that can just recognize basic
What
voice
they'll do
Nin-
is they'll just allow the GameCube adapter for the Switch to accept the GameCube mic. There you go.
Well, the
Oh
thing I
my
find
God.
funny, as much as Yu Saito, the creator of Odama and Seaman, among other things, is
Seaman.
obsessed with microphones, he only made one
He is.
game for the 3DS, which has a microphone built in, and it doesn't even
Yep.
use it.
Wow.
Yeah, I forgot he did Seaman too. I like to joke about Seaman. It's a funny one.
It's a good one. And a fun
Totally
one
obscure.
to be funny about. Somebody go make Odama 2 in Game Builder Garage, please, for my guy Sam here. Okay, we're going to read off some of these community predictions. You guys got weird with this one, but let's just do it. Okay. Bruce, my guy Bruce Togobop in Discord said Plock 3D platformer. Just the obvious
Yes.
first choice for everyone. The next one we have Monkeyker. I think that's how you say it. My prediction is that GTA, Madden, or Call of Duty game will be announced for the Switch. I think that's actually pretty unlikely. That might be the craziest prediction so far. LDP says something from Rockstar would be great, and then he and I were joking about table tennis, which is like the most Nintendo game Rockstar ever made.
We'll get Bully.
Yeah, Bully was pretty good, but everybody knows that we just want Red Dead Redemption or GTA. Flightsy says Kirby's Dream Collection Plus is announced, containing all the games from other Kirby's Dream Collection, as well as the 3 modern games not on the Switch already, and several of the spin-off games. I wouldn't be mad about it.
I think Flightsy just wants a one-stop shop for Kirby. Like,
He's a Kirby fanboy.
I know.
So, yeah, I wouldn't be mad about that, though. I don't mind me some Kirby. Drew says Punch-Out with a story training mode. Did the Wii version not have a story mode? I didn't play it.
I don't think so. I think it played just like the original Punch Out. It just had updated characters.
Just kind of
Oh,
a
gotcha.
circuit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Work your way up.
Yep.
We've got Eric Plunk, which is every game NES through GameCube on one Switch cartridge through limited run games, limited to 100 copies. Go home, Eric. You're drunk.
Yes. No way.
Andros.
Also costs $1,000 per copy.
I'm just going to move on. Andros says Wii Sports World, a sequel to Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. That's awesome. They'd probably call it like Switch Sports or something. But I'd be
That's what he's
down.
been pushing for.
I'd be down for another Wii Sports game. I'm serious.
He's all about the Mii's.
Yeah.
I'm super down for that. Spider
Use
Shan.
those Joy-Con.
Yeah, for real. Spider Shan says Paper Zelda RPG with the same battle system from Thousand Year Door. Classic battle system. I loved, somebody did like a rendering of it or like a fake video of it, and it looked pretty incredible. So
Yeah, that's pretty wishful thinking, though. We can't even get a Paper Mario game with a Paper Mario battle system anymore.
boosh.
Yeah, from that same type.
Truth.
Dunked on Mario RPG.
16-bit Nomad, calling it now. Game Pass on Switch.
I don't know if we will get Game Pass. Like I could see xCloud maybe.
Well, they did drop the xCloud name, to my knowledge.
It's all just Game Pass.
It is Game
now?
Pass for cloud. There's 3 platforms for Game Pass: PC, console, and cloud. So
Gosh.
when people say Game Pass, that's actually consistent with how Microsoft
Everything
talks about it now.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to happen. I think Game Pass is too competitive with the eShop. And Nintendo doesn't want that.
Well,
on
and
console.
seeing as they're kind of cutting out the middleman and they're just going to go straight to your TV now.
Yeah,
Microsoft has announced that. I mean, if you have a smart TV, as far as the cloud streaming stuff, there's no need for an actual game device. The TV itself has enough processing power to receive the signal from the internet to stream your game.
Yeah, just like Netflix or anything else that you're streaming.
Right. So it seems like unnecessary almost. Chris HL94, our buddy Chris HL, he says Zelda 2 remaster in the style of new Super Mario Bros. Wii. I wouldn't be mad about that. I need a way to play that game that's not going to make me want to die.
Zelda 2 is a game that could probably benefit a lot from a remaster.
Yeah, totally. I mean, Link's Awakening benefited from a remaster, and that game was almost perfect already.
I mean, there's a lot of story to Zelda 2 that doesn't get told unless you play the game.
Well, and just a lot of glitches that it would be interesting to play the game without.
Yeah, that too.
Stevens NES says, I say this every year, give me a new Wave Race game.
Yep.
I would love that.
It's a long forgotten franchise.
I want to ride the Dolphins again.
Yeah,
I'm surprised we didn't get a Wave Race on the Wii.
That's my preference even to Mario Kart 9 is just bring back another racing series. You can have more than one Nintendo.
You can.
You used to have like 5 at a time on the N64.
They're different.
They all died on the GameCube, man. I'm telling you, the GameCube like killed them all off.
It's weird.
F-Zero went, Wave Race went.
Excite came back on the Wii.
Excite came back on the Wii. Yeah, it didn't die on the GameCube, but man, so many good ones.
All right. Well, that's it, you guys. Those are our E3 predictions. If you're listening to this after E3, I'm sorry for how wrong we were, or I'm excited about how right we were, because some of these are like left field. But Nintendo always does something. There's always a couple announcements that are just like, who predicted that? Nobody. Labo? What in the world? But that's the end of our show, you guys. Our first live show. And we did it. We pulled it off, and there were no hiccups because I hardwired my system into my router so that there were no Wi-Fi interferences. How wonderful is that? I just want to thank my co-hosts, John, my co-host Sam, you guys kicking it with me tonight. And I want to thank everybody in the chat for hanging out with us. And I want to thank our podcast listeners, you at home or in your car listening to the podcast right now. Thank you for listening. If you guys want to jump in, we're going to try to do a couple more live shows like this. I feel like this is a fun format to have the show since we have like a game and everything. But we'll see. Stay tuned for that. And thanks for listening to the Retrologic podcast. We are proudly part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. If you like what you hear, you can check me out on Twitter and Instagram at Retrologic Games. You're also more than welcome to jump into our friendly and 100% non-toxic Discord community. The link to that is in my Twitter bio at Retrologic Games. Everything Retrologic can be found at the website retrologic.games. And that is my spiel. Guys, are we done or what?
I think we're done.
I think we're done. All right.
I don't have anything to add.
Then we will see you guys.
E3.
What?
Yes. See you at E3.
Virtually.
Have a good E3, everyone. See y'all next week.